Hi. Today I'd like to talk a little bit about Holocaust denial. But before I actually get into the real content, the first thing I want to mention is that what I am in terms of information. I am a commentator. I am not legitimate information. You cannot use anything I say as evidence of anything. The point and the intent is to hopefully get people to think about it so that they can go on and do real research and attempt to find legitimate sources of information. I cannot be a legitimate source of information for a variety of reasons, but most importantly because I have no intention of being so. I am here to make you think. That's why I do these videos. So anyway, on to the actual commentary. I've been in the middle of a discussion in the comments section of one of my videos with someone who has turned out to be a Holocaust denier. He wants to blame all the world's problems on the Jews. He calls the Holocaust the Holo hoax, and he likes to use nigga. He wants to call all African Americans, black people, whatever. But I mean, the way he says it, I mean, it's obviously he intends it in a derogatory way. Those niggas. Anyway, he's made it fairly clear that he's a white man. Although I don't know that for sure. It's very hard for me to make this video and to be at all nice about it. I so want to just scream at him for being a complete idiot. I so want to scream at him for denying the obvious truth. You've got the evidence of thousands and thousands of eyewitness reports from people of all ethnicities, backgrounds, national origins. They all confirm each other. All except for maybe a few hundred white guys who are saying, "Oh, it never happened." There's just, I can't even grasp how someone could truly believe it. I think this guy does. I think he really believes what he's saying. But I don't grasp it. Anyway, the main reason why this bothers me so much is because it's a strong desire to continue the mistreatment of others. It's all about trying to make oneself feel superior at the expense of others. It's all about trying to put people down to bring yourself up. And the overall effect is not to do anything of the sort. Not unless you really believe in violence and that the idea in the end is to, kill off all these other races so that the only ones left are white guys and possibly slaves that we decide to keep. I can't buy that. That's just evil. Absolute evil. Evil on a ranking that I can't even begin to describe. And I would really like to think that my culture has moved past this horrible history of ours. The history is true. We have been the world's worst mass murderers. We have been the world's worst slavers, slave owners. We have done the most evil things. We killed off all of the Indians when we got here, ran them off into concentration camps. You know, we did our own little Holocaust that doesn't even show the kind of history that the German Holocaust did here in America. The deaths of the Native Americans are on our hands. And yet, I really want us to be able to move past this. And people like this man, who I am not going to name, but I am going to invite to come to this video and comment too. I hope he does. I hope to get possibly even a video response, so that I can then turn around and make more fun of everything he has to say. Not because I think it's funny, but because it is evil, it is complete lies, falsehoods, fabrications. There is absolutely no evidence to support the position that the Holocaust did not happen. The evidence that they want to trot out is basically fabricated lies, and or just complete falsehood, misinformation. I mean, it's not even, you know, a fabricated half-truth. It's complete and utter misinformation. For example, this guy tried to lay slavery at the feet of the Jews because the Jews owned all the slave ships that brought the slaves from Africa to the United States. Well, first off, that's just flat out not true. The Jews did not own all the slave ships. Most of the slave ships, I don't even know for sure that the Jews owned any slave ships, but they certainly didn't own all of them. It's a statistical impossibility. The Jews are not everywhere. They're a fairly small percentage of the world population. There just aren't that many of them. Now, they are everywhere. Why? It's called the Jewish diaspora. When the Muslims came through and took over the Middle East, the Jews dispersed. They went all over the world, spread out, became locals to a great extent, adopted the local cultures. They more or less attempted to fit in everywhere, although to some extent they never did. Everywhere they went, they were discriminated against. They were mistreated. In many places, they were not allowed to own land or other stuff. There were very few businesses that they could actually engage in. One of the ones that ended up causing them the most problems was banking. A lot of Jews did go into banking. And the reason why is there is no prohibition against banking and interest and other such parts in the Jewish culture. It's perfectly legitimate for them to be in banking as far as their religion is concerned. Whereas Islam specifically prohibits much of that stuff, and Christianity has in many ways tried to take steps against it. So they didn't have much choice. That was where they were. Well, great. Okay, so there were a lot of banking Jews as a relative thing. They also worked hard and they learned professions. There were a lot of doctors, lawyers, other such things. Great influence over the culture for such a small percentage of people. Why? Because they worked hard on it. Not because they had some sort of conspiracy to bring them to power in places. There weren't enough of them for a conspiracy. How can anyone claim that such a small percentage of people are responsible for the actions of the rest of us? Not possible. So anyway, I don't know where I'm going with this. I just had to say something. I am absolutely disgusted by these kinds of people, and it bothers me the most. Of all the people in the world, this is the class that bothers me the most. They are white, and they hate everybody else. And they are unwilling to get along with other people. They are unwilling to make compromises with them. They want to be in charge and control everything. And this bothers me so much because I'm white. Their actions reflect on me, my family, my friends, all of whom completely disagree with them. We have absolutely no desire to be at all like these people. But yet, they come on and they act like they speak for all of us. No. They don't speak for me. In fact, I specifically denounce everything they stand for.